This is the yoga for day one. So starting sat in cross-legged position, you're going to rotate round to the side, putting your right hand on your left leg and your left hand behind you, as you can see here. And then you're going to change back to the front. Breathing deep, try to inhale through into the stomach, trying to expand the stomach, and then breathe out all through the nose. Then you're putting your left hand across to your right knee and your right hand behind you, trying to rotate through the spine as much as you can. You want to feel the rotation here right throughout the back from bottom to top. Back to the front again, and just deep breaths. Settle yourself ready for the flow. Hands up in the air, both hands up as high as you can. You want to take your hands up and really, really reach, really extend. Imagine like you're reaching out to the ground. And then bringing them both down to the side, as you can see. So you inhale on the way up and exhale on the way down. So inhale, big deep inhale. Hands go up in the air. Exhale on the way back down. A couple of key things here. You can see me loosening off my neck in here. I'm feeling a lot of tension throughout the back. I want you to activate your back muscles. This isn't a passive movement. It's not just slipping your hands up and down dead easy. And you need to really force and stretch both your hands back and up. Imagine like you're trying to put them behind the crown of your head at the top. And at the bottom, imagine like you're trying to pinch your elbows towards your hip bones and really taking them down. You should feel a really nice lock in the back, in the center of the back, lower trapezius and mid trapezius. Inhale on the way up, exhale on the way down. Loosen off, like I'm doing there, loosen off any achy parts, any stiff parts. The neck needs cracked out, feel free. You find your rhythm for this. Big inhale and exhale. And again, big inhale and exhale. Each time you want to be reaching further and further into the stretch. This is a warm-up yoga, so it's not as calm and chilled out as some other yoga sequences. This is more of an active um, muscle activation technique. This is. We're going to be doing handstand push-ups later, so this is crucial for that. It's starting to build in the patterns, and I know that there's a lot of these pressing up and down, but until you get practice with these, it's you're just going to need to repeat it over and over again until you get the feel of it, and you know what you're doing. You should feel your shoulders and your upper back warmed up really, really well at this point, rotator cuffs as well. Just to counteract that, you're going to stretch forward then in a cross-leg position, reaching the hands as far forward as you can. You can roll your head, roll your shoulders, whatever makes you feel comfortable. And really, really stretching forward if you can. And stretch over to one side, it kind of hits the lats a little bit more, over to the other side. Still all in front of yourself for the cross-leg position. Pulling the head down to stretch off the back of the neck. You should feel a bit more relaxed now. Everything eased out from all that tension of working in the activation exercise. You can roll your shoulders forward and back just to loosen everything off even more. Shouldn't feel too much tension now left in the neck or the shoulders. It should be all quite eased out. Taking your right hand across your chest, place your left hand over the top so the right arm is in the crook of your left elbow. Touch your face and you're just going to pull against it, just stretching out the upper back on that side. Then you're taking the same hand over the head and down behind the head as much as you can. You're trying to get your elbow over the crown of your head and get a nice straight line coming from your hip right through the top of your elbow on the right side. Change sides, so it's the left hand comes across the body this time, right hand to the face, catching the elbow in the crook of your right elbow. Really pulling that across, opening up the back, trying to pull away from the middle of the spine. And then taking that same hand up behind your head, pulling the elbow towards the center line, towards the behind the crown of your head. Get a nice straight line going from your elbow down to your hip, or even past that straight line point if you can. Stretch off the neck and just breathe. Take a few deep breaths here first. Getting ready for the sequence now. Pop yourself forward, hands in the mat, and step or kick back into a push-up position. Go into puppy dog pose, or sorry, upward dog and downward dog. You can take your hips to side here if you like. This is quite a fast flow, although there is some static holds in it, so just be prepared for that. Step forward on both feet, head right down, as far as you can, up, straight back, inhale. Good, and then fold forward again, exhale. Excellent. And inhale, rising the whole way back up to the top, stretching the arms up overhead. Back into the chest, center of the chest. Big rise overhead again. And fold forward, exhale. Lift the chest, look up and inhale. Fold forward again, exhale. Hands down, step or kick back. And all fours. And we're going to do child's pose. So lean back, sit your bum back on top of your heels. Stretch your hands forward as far as they'll go. You can see me walk my fingertips forward there. But you're also reaching back with your bum towards your heels as much as you can. You're trying to drop your chest right down toward the mat and try and relax as much as you can. Breathe deep into that. Just give a little check on the kids there if you've got any kids. And throw them back into child's pose. Excellent. Just breathing deep here. Just trying to get that back push through. Try to get that chest through to the floor as much as you can. Now we're going to do some cat cow. So that's a cat. You're going to exhale on the cat and inhale on the cow. So exhale, reach the back up. Stretch your back like a cat. And then inhale, up like a cow. So bum out, chest up. So you're arching your back both ways. So exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Excellent. Keep that going. Remember to breathe on each one. So inhale on the cow, exhale on the cat. Rotate your shoulders a few times from that position. And then push up, lifting your hips up to the sky into downward dog. Then you're going to bring your hips side to side, stretch off the sides of your body, and sit for a few seconds in this position. You'll see me take off my socks here. I was just slipping in the video, so pay no attention to that. Just you hold on to this downward dog position. Try and you can keep a slight bend in the knees if it helps you get into the shoulders a little bit more. But the idea is to try and reach those hips up as high as you can. You also feel a nice stretch on the calves and the heels. This is where I take my socks off. Yeah, so if you can, guys, get a nice grippy surface. And if you can, work on bare feet. It just grips better than socks or shoes or whatever. So step forward, bending forward, exhale, right down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bend forward again. And breathe in, step right up, stretch the arms out. Bring the hands in the prayer position in the chest. A few deep breaths and back up again, fold forward, exhale. Grab the big toes if you can. We're going to go for a gorilla now, so you're going to put your hands underneath your feet if you can. And we're going to do a few sequences of looking up, lifting the chest, inhaling and exhaling, folding forward here from this position. Remember to breathe deeply from here. Try to feel the stretch right throughout the hamstrings, the calves, even into the glutes and the lower back as well. So lift the chest, look up a little bit, inhale as well, and then fold forward, exhale. Inhale, look up. You may not get a whole lot of movement in this. As you can see from me, I'm not getting a ton of movement here. That's okay, it just depends completely on your flexibility. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up again. And then lower your body and right up into tree pose. Mountain pose, sorry. Just readjust this camera here. So from prayer pose, fold forward with a straight back into a squat. You can push the elbows in against the knees. You can rock side to side on each of the feet here. I like to do this, it just helps stretch off my calf muscles. From playing a lot of sports, I have injuries in my ankles and calves, a lot of tissue tears. I'm sure a lot of you do the same. That's my daughter's hand, pay no attention to that. And that's her playing with the phone. Told off, there we go. Big deep breaths in here. Trying to sink your bum lower. Trying to lift your chest. Try and keep it up. Daughter's hand again. And then you want to take your left hand down and extend your right hand up as far as you can, as you can see in the video. You're hoping to push the knee out still, and then change sides. Right hand goes down this time. Left hand extended up. You're trying to rotate through the spine and stretch out the upper back. Work through the hips as well. Keeping that nice solid squat position, feet planted. Don't come up on your toes if you can avoid it. Should be constantly trying to work to improve this position. Try to get, as you can see, my feet are quite turned out. There's a lot of ankle damage done there. The more forward you can get your feet, the better. And keep working toward that position. You'll feel it as you go along. And fold forward, stand up. Extend the arms right up and come to rest. From this position, we're going to do tree pose. So you're going to lift the right leg up, put the right sole, or the sole of the right foot, sorry, into the inside of the left thigh. And if you can, extend your hands up over your head. Guys, feel free to use balancers from this position. You know, get near a wall or get near something you can hold on to if needs be. It's quite a tough position to do correctly. Don't worry, it seems dead easy, but it's not. Focusing on balance, and you can see my left foot's doing a lot of twitching, a lot of movement. My right ankle, as you will see, is actually much worse, and because just so many more injuries. But you're going to want to try and balance throughout. You can readjust if needs be, as you can see me doing here. You don't have to readjust. You can just let that drop into a more comfortable position. That foot can rest on your knee joint, it can rest on your calf, it can rest wherever you need it to rest. Don't feel pressured to follow exactly what I'm doing. If you can do better, fantastic, brilliant, well done. Um, but just do what you can. Bringing the hands into the chest, extend the knee out in front, 90 degrees. And from there, you're actually going to kick the right leg back and fold forward, extending the right leg out as far behind you as you can. You're going to reach out with the right heel toward the back wall. As you can see, I'm steadying myself here. That's why it's good to have a wall around. Extending the arms out if you can. You can see there that's actually quite difficult. So you're really using your upper back muscles to hold your hands out. If it's too much, you can actually just keep your hands by your side. There's no need to actually extend your arms out if you're not able to. But really focus on driving that leg back and extending the arms if you do that. Back to resting position or standing position. Then tree pose now on the left hand side. So it'll be on the right foot. Sorry. And just having a little rest there, shaking everything out, and bringing the left foot up into the inner thigh on the right hand side. So don't get quite as much grip on this side, as you'll see. Arms extended overhead, foot's slipping a little bit. So just try and work through this position as much as you can. Try and turn that knee out to the side. Really open up the hips. Try and really extend out the shoulders overhead. You're wanting to feel that reach as much as you can. You can reposition like I'm doing here if needs be. Always remembering to breathe throughout, guys. Big deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. You can breathe out through the mouth, whatever you prefer, but I find it much better just to contain all the breathing through the nose. You get good at breathing through the nose. Probably coming from the fighting background, because you don't want to open your mouth too much. If you punch when your mouth's open, you're more likely to get knocked out. Piece of useless, relevant information, but there you go. Bring the hands into the center of the chest. Extend the leg out front. Knee bent at 90 degrees. And from there, you're going to extend the leg back out behind you and fold forward. And if you can, then extending the arms overhead like you did on the other side. And just trying your best not to rotate the hips. Trying to keep the hips facing toward the ground as much as you can. You can see here the instability on my right side is much worse than it is on my left. Um, it'll all depend on your injury history and other issues. So might be some genetic problems there as well. This will all be dependent. So just be a bit more lenient on yourself. Allow yourself to struggle in these positions if needs be. Folding forward, breathing out. Kick back and down into chaturanga. Lower body down. So up now into upward dog. Just stretching your chest up, extending the arms, really pushing through on the hips. Now up into downward dog. Hips go back up into the air. Head through. Then you're going to jump through in the cross leg position again. And we're finishing off back where we started. So feet out in front, sorry, legs extended out. And from there, you're going to extend the arms right up into the air and really, really, really reach here. This is much harder than it looks. You're going to want to reach up as high as you can. You're trying to create a perfect L shape and actually just tilt forward at the waist. So you're trying to close the L a little bit. Then you can fold forward fully throughout the back as well, and try and take your chest down to your knees as much as you can. That position before, guys, really do be active in that. Try to create a nice solid straight line from your bum right up to your hands and from your bum to your heels, and you want to kind of close the angle on that L shape. And then from this position, you're just trying to breathe out and relax as much as you can. And just loosen off the hands and roll up nice and gently. Right leg into or right foot planted, sorry, and right knee into the chest. And from here, you're going to take the left hand up over your head and bring it down and across. And just catch your right knee in the crook of your left elbow. And rotate there as you see me doing. Taking your right hand behind you. And you can look behind you as well. Big deep breaths in through the nose. Right into the gut and out through the nose or the mouth, depending on what you prefer. From here, you can move into a deeper stretch, which is just taking your elbow onto the other side of the knee, just pushing forward and really, creating more tension in that rotation, creating more torque. And back, extend the right leg back out, and up goes the left. So plant the left foot, bring the left knee into the chest. Same idea again. Hold it with the right hand or the left hand. Sorry, extend the right hand up. And what you're going to do is going to bring the right hand down then on top of the crook of the elbow into the left knee. Taking your left hand behind you. You can deepen the stretch again, taking your right elbow over the top of your left knee and deepening further into that stretch. Remember to continue breathing throughout and through the nose. Big deep breath. Take it right into the gut. You want to feel your chest and your stomach expand. And then exhale. Exhale. And relax the legs back in front. And now we're going to go into the final pose, which is Savasana, which is basically just lying down. However, what we're going to do here is going to keep the feet planted. Now you can go to a complete rest position, which is just lying flat with all the legs flat, but we're going to do something slightly different here because we're doing some overhead movements, and this isn't a cool down yoga, this is a warm up yoga. I'm going to take the arms up overhead, um, trying to do like maybe a 45-degree angle, um, and you're going to try and keep this is crucial, you're going to keep the small of your back on the mat. Make sure it's in full contact with the mat, engage in the core if needs be, and then trying to extend, you see me moving the chair there, try to extend your arms up so that they're in contact with the floor, but they're at the point where they're just about to come off the floor. So you really want to extend and reach up as high as you can, and find that angle where the arms just feel like they just want to come off the floor, but they're still in contact with the floor, and really push into that, really stretch into that position. You'll feel it all across the front of the shoulders, maybe into the neck, maybe into the back of the shoulders, depending on where you're tight. You may get it across the bicep. It all depends. You may even feel it under your forearms and your fingertips. It's not uncommon. So you're really trying to just stretch out all that tissue, all that nervous system tissue as well, and just give everything a good stretch out there. Making sure you keep the small of your back on the floor. This is crucial simply because we're trying to replicate an overhead position, and you don't want to be in an overhead position or holding anything over your head with a rounded lower back. It's just not good. So you want to replicate that. And just extend up. You can pull your head up and ease yourself up to resting. Warm up done. Well done.